welcome to the Beesies.
I'm Abby.
I'm Brittany.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Mackenzie.
Remember the college days when you were best friends with your roommates?
We would come home and talk about anything and everything together.
We miss this phase so much that we decided we needed this quality roommate time again.
So welcome to the Beesies. Come over and get cozy with your new favorite roommates.
You know what I've realized? I'm a slut for a brown sugar shake and espresso.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I basically drink one every morning, my own homemade version of one.
Can you teach me?
Yeah,
Because
it's so
Are you
easy.
using actual brown sugar or do you have like the pump?
No, here's what I do. Ready?
Teach.
1 tablespoon of instant coffee. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. A little shaky shake of cinnamon. A little boop of vanilla. And then you do 4 tablespoons of hot water. And you let it dissolve. You mix it up. And then you just pour your milk.
Oh.
And then if you want to be real extra and delicious, a little bit of chai.
Oh, that sounds delicious, actually.
Okay, next time I'm over, can we make one?
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds delicious.
I
love
legit make it
that.
every morning. And yeah, it's super yummy. And then I use like Fairlife milk because, you know, protein and stuff. And then I use like sugar-free chai. And so when it all comes together in the end, it's like less than 100 calories as well. And I'm like, I don't even feel bad about this. I love
That's
it. Every
awesome.
morning, it's my thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really
'Cause
love
that's
it, but I just can't spend $6 on it at Starbucks every day. You know? And I don't.
I almost actually don't like getting coffee out anymore because it's so good. And I've tried to ask some places, like, can you make it this way? And I was like, if I'm going to make it, then, like, if I'm going to ask them to do it, why not just make it myself?
Why not just, yeah, that's true. And with that, welcome back now that you've had your coffee lesson for the day.
Nice.
You're welcome.
How's everybody's Monday? Well, for us, Saturday.
Like, it's not Monday. Thank you.
I have
Actually,
been... Sorry, go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Today is great because I am on a break from work.
I don't know why I just assumed you were talking about with Derek.
I know. I got a little scared
On a break
for
with
second.
Derek.
And just the way you
No.
prefaced, I was like, oh, okay, we're talking about this.
No.
Wait, you're
No
on
breaks.
It's not spring break.
Yeah.
When this comes out.
Oh,
That just feels
yes.
so early to me.
I was like,
It usually is the
late
beginning
to
of
me.
March
Yeah.
or like
And
middle
you're
of
right.
March. It is basically middle of March now. So,
That is true.
like even
That
when
is
we're
true.
recording this.
I don't like that.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh well.
That's a bummer.
Probably wasn't
Hope
that
everyone's
important.
having a great Women's History Month. I forgot about it until 2 days ago, which was a little too late. Like March 1st came around and I really had no idea what we were celebrating. So proud to be a woman. Love that for me. I don't know if you guys also experienced that. Yes.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Whenever there's a history month of any kind, I honestly feel pretty up to date with it simply because at work we usually will like highlight someone within that history every single day. So like
That's kind of funny.
yeah. It's honestly kind of cool because you learn about a lot of people. But we do it for like pretty much every single month because there's just a lot of history months.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's
That's
kind of fun.
so sweet of them to do that.
I just want to tell everyone, by the time this comes out, I will hopefully not be anxious anymore. But I'm anxious simply because we leave. So I'm working today. We leave tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m. to go to California, which I'm so excited because we're going to Disneyland. But then Wednesday, we get back at like 10 a.m. and then we start moving into our new apartment.
Ooh.
And so it's like we're coming straight back from a California Disneyland trip, which is pretty taxing on the body, to moving.
That's a wild time.
So it'll be fun. But I think it's just that I'm anxious because I'm not going to be here and being able to pack. And luckily, Scott and I already started packing quite a bit. Like, I'm looking at like a bunch of boxes right now. But there's stuff that like you can't do beforehand, really. And that's pretty much what we're at. So anyways, that's all.
kind of insane in the membrane. Wait,
Yeah.
it'll be okay because that's exactly what Jacob and I did when he when after his like third year, we went to Hawaii
Yeah.
with our friends. We didn't have time to pack beforehand. We went to Hawaii, came back, and literally had one day to pack everything and move to Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Okay, I feel better then.
You're gonna slay.
Yay. Slay all day.
True.
Well, that's my only update about life.
Congratulations.
Oh, no, I do remember what I was going to say. Normally when we record early, it's such a struggle for me. But I have been waking up pretty early this whole week just because of like the Pilates classes I've been able to take are usually at 7 a.m. And then when I had to take Winnie to the vet, that was pretty early in the morning. So I feel like I'm an early morning girly now after just a week of
I
it.
love that.
Wow, that is
does-
a big accomplishment.
It's so
It feels-
nice.
Yeah, it feels good to wake up early, but it's hard.
It is.
I mean, I still have to wake up early for work, but I'm not waking up like nearly as early as I would like to have enough time for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like even for this, I woke up like 10 minutes before my alarm was set, and it was so nice. Like I was like,
Yeah.
wait, I love just naturally waking up like this.
Yeah.
I mostly just love the feeling that by the time like 10 o'clock rolls around, I've already
Yes.
done so many things in my day. That feels very good and like very productive. So I'm like proud of myself because of that. But I don't love the feeling of like that first hour to hour and a half enough. Actually, I hate it so much that that like it doesn't really make up for that feeling, so it's a very like rare occasion for me. You know?
I will say that is what I like about waking up early specifically to work out, because I feel like it kind of forces me to be awake, and then when I get back I'm just like, okay, I'm good now. Like,
Yeah.
because it's not like you have to wake up super early to get ready to work out. Like, you change your clothes, wash your face, brush your teeth, and then you can go. So like it takes me like 10 minutes to get ready when I'm going to like Pilates in the morning. And then by the time it's like halfway through the Pilates class, I'm like, okay, this is fun now. I'm also
Right.
really tired.
Ready for a nap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Cool.
Any other life updates?
I'm just dying.
Oh.
Oh,
But not
sorry.
mentally anymore.
Oh, okay.
Mentally, I feel good. But also mentally, I'm struggling because the semester is insane. And it's basically like it's final season because we have a big graded like essay due. And so I just be working on that every day, and I'm just dying and suffering every day. And it's just crazy.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Speaking
but just
of,
think, in
sorry.
2 months, you'll
Yeah.
feel so much better.
and then you'll start an
So true.
internship and be stressed again.
I hope I'll start an internship. That's another thing that's terrible is it's just so hard to get a job.
Oh, that's so stressful, actually. Do you
I know.
like have to get an internship? Like, is it required for your programs or anything? Or is it just like you obviously want an internship?
It's not required. It's just for your jobs next year. They're going to be like, why the freak did you not have a job?
That makes sense.
So it kind of is required if you want to be
Yeah.
career.
Yeah, which, kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Dang. Speaking of being depressed and anxious,
Oh no.
the superlatives, did you guys look at them? The ones that we posted on.
Oh my gosh.
That was trigger warning.
A little.
That's a
I-
trigger warning for me.
Yeah.
I didn't look at them.
I was offended, but also
I'm a little
we did it to
offended.
ourselves. So,
By specifically my mom's responses.
oh my gosh, there was one. Oh, what was it? Oh, it was the who's most likely to be bisexual. All three of you were pretty much voted the most. I think Jenny,
you.
you were the most.
Yes.
Your mom voted for me though. She was the only
Yeah.
person who voted for me.
Abby's mom?
Mom's
Oh.
responses were the most, in my opinion, like unhinged. I was like, where
It feels
did
like she
these-
probably just like closed her eyes and then was like, oh, choose a random person.
She's like,
Yeah.
who doesn't have any votes yet? Let's
Yeah.
go here.
Funny.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
the superlatives, the only one I voted and looked at was bisexual. And then I was like, no, I don't want to see the results or anything for the rest.
That's healthy. I was checking them too often.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who did
That's
you
so
vote for
fun.
bisexual, Jenny?
I think I voted for myself.
Oh, I love that.
That question felt like it was at me.
Oh, really?
personally.
I thought it was
'Cause,
directed
I mean,
at Abby.
I just felt like I was obviously going to be the winner.
Oh,
You think that question was directed at me?
yeah, I do.
Here's the thing that the thought that comes to my mind is like, why is that a question anymore? Like, I thought we already had a
Abby, this is exactly why I thought it was directed at you, because you've mentioned things like that. Like, duh, everyone's bisexual.
Oh, I'm not hiding, guys. Like, we know this. So
This
it
is
just like makes me
proving-
laugh when
Yeah.
it's like yeah, that stuff. That's so funny.
I feel like I should expose myself and just say that, like, whenever we put up a question box, I personally respond to it like 20 times.
Yeah. Oh, I've noticed that. I'm like, Brittany is coming through every single time.
I just want to pretend we're more popular than we are.
I know.
I do just want to say, one, the superlatives make me feel that like everyone low key hates me. And
No.
but I do just want to say also that like people don't know me. I was voted. I don't think I won. I think Abby, you won for this one, but like I was up there for like most likely to eat something that fell onto the floor. And I'm like, do you not know me? I like am low key, like I have like an OCD, like
Yes.
germaphobe issue. Like I
that
used to
Okay.
be that way, but then 2020 happened.
That is
one-
like
yes,
the biggest
that one-
evidence for people don't know us outside here. My mom voted for me. I was the lowest on that one. She voted for me. She knows me because I should have won that. I have no shame.
Well, here's the part though that confuses me is I'm like 90% sure that I have shared the story of me eating out of the trash can in junior high on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Go,
I'm
girl.
like 100% it's either me, like that's not a question, it's either me or Brittany. Like that did confuse me when I saw Kenzie being like, what?
There were a lot of them where I was like, yeah, we just don't show enough of our actual personalities. We need to start being more real with you guys.
Either that or people don't actually listen to our episodes.
Yeah.
Which,
Jenny,
thanks.
you and I think we're tied for like who is the quickest to anger.
Yeah, I know I misvoted on one of the questions on accident and think I voted for Jenny and I meant to vote for Kenzie. So I'm having a little bit of anxiety about that as well, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember who I voted for quickest to anger, but I feel like what's hard with something like that is I feel like none of us are actually like angry people.
Yeah.
Like we get petty angry where it's like it doesn't actually matter. And maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but so I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I'm quick to anger maybe in my relationship, but like with
Yeah.
people, like I'm actually
Yeah.
pretty.
yeah, I
I
was
can
like
be pretty non-confrontational.
totally. I was like we've had so many episodes talking about how Kenzie is not confrontational.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah.
Anyways.
Whatever. I do
all-
also just
we
want to
beef with
say
you guys.
that the least likely to join a cult, I feel like I won that one because people read it as most likely to join a cult. And I feel like that's people low-key telling me that I'm dumb and I'm like gullible. And I just want to say I'm not. Wait, that's my proof.
I like specifically voted you for least likely to join the cult though.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that the audience saw it as most likely because everything else was most likely. And also I won most likely to join a cult in our friend superlative.
But here's the
And-
thing is we just talked about
did?
that on the episode. So maybe people like do listen and they were like, oh yeah, Kenzie shared she would never.
There you go.
Because the other thing too is that for most likely to start a cult, you had the least votes. So I do feel like it was consistent for like you
But
winning.
I was most likely to join because I'm just a gullible follower. And I just want to say, like, again,
That's
the only
Jenny.
proof I have is that I'm just not.
You're just wrong.
I'm a trendsetter. That's what she's saying.
Not even that. I just am, like, y'all, I'm just not. You just have to believe me on that.
I believe you.
Thank you.
I am Team Kenzie. Drums
not
to
joining
her
a
own
cult.
beat. Is Team Kenzie is not joining a cult.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
I've joked about this, but maybe I need to be like a little more forthcoming. I feel like I'm a cult person, and I don't want to be.
You would join
but
a cult?
I feel
mean,
like I would
let's look at the facts.
accidentally.
Let's look at the facts.
Church,
Brittany,
the company
MLM,
I work for,
like
I was
you
in
used
an
to do
MLM.
lip sense.
I just am I just attract cults. I don't want to. It just happens. It's just like I was
Yeah.
saying before this, the whole like if I had a nickel for every time this happened,
Yeah.
that's me with cults. I just
Yeah.
accidentally joined them. Anyways, that's my tangent.
You just like community. Just phrase it that
I
way.
just love community.
Yeah.
I
high
just love
demand
having my
community.
extended families.
Okay, here's a
Yeah.
quick question that came to my mind though is do you guys believe that sororities are cults?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, because at the beginning of like last semester or something, I was literally just standing outside and like I was on sorority row and the sororities were out there and they were all dressed in white and the the people that were already members were like lining up to the door of the house all dressed in white and then the sorority like the new ones were like standing in a line in front of them and the people dressed in white would come and get one of the new sorority members and walk them through the
veil.
Yeah.
they literally like walk them through these people dressed in white and I'm like what is going on here?
So here's
And they
the
were
thing.
singing. They were also singing. It was crazy.
The singing is a little creepy.
Yeah.
What defines a cult?
I was gonna
I
say
think I looked this up.
Yeah, I looked it
before.
up recently. I think we do use the word cult a little too loosely. Like I'm kind of using it in a funny way. I think
Right.
it technically does have to be something religious.
There
by
are like
definition.
four there are four characteristics of a cult. And I can't specifically remember all of them.
like,
and I'm trying
isn't
to
it-
Google it.
It's something like
One is
They-
like money. You have to like they ask for donations and you have to be like donating money and giving money for certain things. You're either buying into something, whatever. Two is like has to be a strong like leader.
Yeah.
Something like a leader and then like an elite group. And that leader like knows all and it is like above the law or something like that. Like seen kind of as this like strong figurehead.
they know more than the average person.
Yes. Oh,
I found a
I won't be
list.
able to find it.
It's pretty much exactly what you're saying. It says this one, the four things are indoctrinates its members, forms a close totalitarian society, has a self-appointed messianic and charismatic leader, and it believes that the ends justify the means.
Okay.
So like, am I literally a part of multiple cults?
Yeah.
Kinda.
yeah.
Well, just kidding.
I always think like when I think of a cult, I always think of like just people that have like an apologist mindset.
Yeah. Well, and that I
Yeah.
think
So it's
slips
like
into that like ends justify the means.
yeah.
Right. There's some sort of like emotional and mental manipulation, whether on like a very large scale or a small scale. And that usually ends up leading to the belief that like things are right, even if like, the apologist mindset of like,
Yeah.
so, oh man, I'm so annoyed that I can't find. Yeah. I mean,
There's
yeah,
actually
basically
this
what Brittany
really
said.
good book that I'd have to find it. One of my friends told me about it. It basically like breaks down what a cult actually is. And yeah, anyways, I literally don't know the name of it, so I shouldn't have brought it up, but there's a book out there about it.
Yeah.
I feel like
I just
sorry, go ahead.
remember seeing some sort of TikTok that was saying like, in order to be a cult, like classified as a cult, you have to have these 4 specific characteristics. And then it went into all 4 of them and then like what they were. And I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. And I can't remember what the other like 1 and 2 were. But anyways, yeah.
Great segue.
Love it.
To last week. Just very briefly. It was a very vulnerable episode. We all have kind of talked about how, you know, it's just a lot to talk about religion and faith and all of that. So we appreciate you all being kind to us.
We appreciate the feedback.
Yeah. But we also want to keep it a little more lighthearted because of that. Because it was a heavy episode. And I don't know. I'm sure there are people who didn't even listen to it, which respect that. Go you. But this week, for Women's History Month, we kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. International Women's Day has come and passed, but we wanted to just kind of make it fun. So Kenzie, you should explain this part.
So to celebrate women's history, we're gonna act out a scene in women's history. So to set the stage, give some context, South Australia was the first electorate to give women not only the right to vote, but like full and equal political power for men and women.
That's awesome.
So like New Zealand was the first country to give women the right to vote, but women couldn't stand in elections. So South Australia kind of was the first to give that full political equality. So we're going to be reenacting a true event, a true scene. And this takes place in South Australia, as I said. So
My heart is pumping so fast, you guys.
I'm so
not
excited.
ready for this.
I'm so excited.
And
Alrighty.
action.
It's 1892, 4 years after the South Australian Women's Suffrage League was formed, and the women still got no rights. As of now, a woman can only vote if she owns land. Otherwise, you cannot vote and definitely cannot hold public office. Let's check in on one of their meetings now.
All right, Ripper, listen up. We got lots of good old business to get through, so shut up and slap your hands together for our 2 fearless leaders, Mary Lee and Mary Colton.
Why was that perfect?
Good day. So here we go. We got a stack of suggestions for what to do to further our womanly agenda of gaining the right to vote, hold public office, and have equal custody of our children. Should be a piece of piss, yeah?
I can't do this. I got the billy going and dinner ready for already. By the time my man gets home, he grins like a sharp fox instead of leaving me and taking my little Joey. So I guess apples she'll be. But it's time to take a little more for ourselves.
Good on ya. Let's read the first suggestion. Cut off their bared hairs and glue them on our faces. Now, who dreamt this up? This would be a dog's breakfast, wouldn't it?
That would be me, and it did come to me in a dream. Did you have the same one?
No, right now my only dream is that you'd give a good suggestion instead of this nonsense. Next one says, organize a march in support of women's rights.
That was me.
Good on ya. See, that's what we need. Ideas that don't cost the big beakies, but are still effective.
I also organized for me and you to speak at town halls and made these forms for people to sign showing support in putting women's rights on the ballot. What are they called again?
Subscriptions.
Cleo was talking about petitions, which helped lead to South Australia becoming the first country to offer full political equality for the rights of women and men in 1894.
I love subscriptions. I have one for a handsome milko to come to my house every week to drop off milk and never mind.
Crikey, Cleo. I thought that was a Furby.
No, it's a real bonza. You should give it a whirl.
Cleo.
The end.
Good job.
Yay. That was beautiful.
Oh
I
my
hope you all love that.
gosh.
All I know is that I love the Australians now. More.
Yeah.
That was a really good
you
historical
to the-
lesson.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for anyone
so
who's
sorry.
Australian listening
Sorry.
to this.
So sorry.
I hope you learned about Australia.
It's just so similar to a country accent. It's hard not to slip into it.
It's literally the country British accent. Yeah. It's a
oh,
little hard.
true.
We are really good at country accents too.
Yeah, that would have been a much better, thing to act
So
out.
what I learned
have-
from this is that Southern Australia women were very strong in their sexuality already, and they also
Cleo
kind of hated each other. Yeah. I feel like
But they got
who
the
was
work
it?
done.
Was it Jenny's character that thought all the ideas were bad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be that way sometimes.
Cleo is obviously not a real person, but Mary Lee and Mary Colton were the leaders of the Australians Women's Suffrage League. So
I love
Thank
that.
you,
They were
Mary
real.
Lee,
Thank you, Mary Lee and Mary Colton. We appreciate you.
for
You're
Australia.
so welcome.
Let an example. Also, in support of Women's History Month, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'll be able to think of something off the top of your head, but so obviously, like everyone says, as a feminist, you support women's rights and women's wrongs. And I was wondering which women's wrongs at
Do
the
I
top
support?
of yeah, like do you have any
Wait, like we
I'm
support as in like women can do no wrong? Is that what you're saying?
no.
like something wrong that maybe a celebrity or historical person did that you like.
What do you
I'll
mean
give
you
an
support them?
I'll
Like
give
the
an
whole-
example.
Well, I think, real quick, I think the whole thing with like feminism is the equality side of it. So it's like, it's not the belief that women can do no wrong. It's that we're going to support them in what they do that's right, but then acknowledge the things that they do that are wrong. So like, you're not
Also
letting them
support
get away
their
with it.
wrongs.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm letting
Jenny is
in this
literally
case,
saying
I'm
support
letting them
their
get away
wrongs.
with
this
it.
this is a joke. This is like an
It's a
internet
joke.
joke.
Okay.
It's an
Okay,
internet meme.
I
It's-
am not in on the joke, so I was just trying to
And
understand
I'm
where
going
you
to
were
give
going
an
with this.
example,
So we're a
Okay,
woman
okay.
apologist. Go
which
ahead.
Yeah.
is I am okay with the wrong of Ariana Grande just kind of like maybe cheating on Pete Davidson, just breaking up with him, breaking his heart, because it gave us Thank You Next, the album, and that was an incredible album.
I didn't
So
know
that's
that
a
there
woman's
was
wrong that I like.
allegations that she cheated on him.
I mean, she just be cheating on everybody.
Oof.
And just like leading him on and just like being like, I'm gonna marry you, and then she just dips. And that's a
Yeah.
wrong that I support if it gives us a good album. And honestly, her most recent
It's good.
one. Mm-hmm.
I need to listen to it. I have not yet. I'll download
It's
it
not
for
one
my
you can get
flight.
down to,
Ooh.
but someone described it as like a soft explosion.
Ooh.
A perfect description.
I love that.
All right.
The first thing that comes to my mind is Gone Girl, when her husband cheats on her and she absolutely loses her mind and
Yeah.
ruins his life for cheating on her.
I love that.
No, I love Gone Girl, and that's literally what I would do if Jacob cheated on me. I've told him I'm gonna Gone Girl him.
This won't be relevant to any of you because you haven't read this book, but there's a character in one of the books that I've read who is just kind of moody for no reason, and then she gets turned into a magical person. and is like miserable.
As one
And
does.
she just like gets drunk every night and buys this like
Oh.
shitty apartment to punish herself and just like goes to the tavern and has sex with anybody every single night and like ghosts all of her friends and family that care about her. And she has a redemption arc, but you know what? She was going through it. So I think it's okay that she was living a little wild there for a while. Her name's Nesta Archeron, in case anyone's wondering who I'm referring to.
I've heard about Nesta.
Nesta, we support
Yeah,
your
we
wrongs.
support Nesta for being a little wild when she was quite literally depressed and miserable. Her dad had also just
Exactly.
died, so like, you know?
You know,
And it was in a war. Ugh.
sometimes when you're going through shit, you just
Yeah. Honestly,
shitty
okay,
things.
maybe I'm opinionated about this topic, but she also went through the trauma of thinking her dad hated her and abandoned her to then find out quite literally moments before his death that he in fact did not abandon her, but had gone across to another continent to find support and seek help from other people to win the war that they were waging. And so really, and he shows up on 3 boats all named after his 3 daughters, which was like so cute. And then he like saves the war and he really did all of it for his daughters. And then she hears him get his neck broken. So yeah, all within like 10 minutes. So like that's a
Sorry,
lot
what?
of trauma. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we support her
Nar.
wrongs.
Like she went from thinking her dad was
Nar,
terrible.
not the neck breaking.
Yeah, and then she can't hear fires because when it pops, it reminds her of the
Oh,
sound.
good God.
I know.
no.
Trauma.
That-
I would get drunk and have sex with random strangers too. Anyways, that's my
I
rant.
also think of Where the
Nesta.
Crawdads Sing.
Oh, totally. Do you
Ooh,
think
that's a good
she
one.
murdered him?
Yeah,
Isn't
she
that the
did.
whole
She
thing?
def
oh,
did.
Oh,
Yeah, that,
okay.
that was
It's not
like,
up
the
for
last
debate. Okay.
Yeah.
The
no,
author? Are we
she
talking
did.
about the author or in the book?
No, in the
Okay, wait. I
Yeah,
thought
the
there was some
author.
controversial things about the author, so I was
Oh,
just trying to.
I have
There
no
were,
idea.
but I forgot what they were.
I haven't read the book. I only watched the movie.
I
Yeah.
didn't even
So
do
good.
either of those, so I was like,
I do
I'm not
wanna
all
read
up to date
the
on the
book.
information.
Yeah.
I love that actress, by the way, because she played she was in
Brenda.
the Mormon show.
In
And so,
Under the
like-
Banner of Heaven.
Yeah, so in my mind,
Yep.
she's Mormon.
Yeah.
And I would like have a connection to her.
You're like a Mormon queen.
Go off, queen. That's so funny.
I love that.
Abby, any women you are okay with their wrongs?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have any thoughts in my brain right now
That's
about
okay.
this. This was sprung on me, so and I am unprepared.
That's all right. You can think
I'm
on
sure I
it.
could come up with some eventually.
Our next little game we're playing is you probably all have seen the trend by now.
It's like we're kind of late to the game.
Yeah, but you know what?
But-
When are we not?
Like, doesn't mean you can't have fun with
Yeah,
the game. You
we're
know?
just trying to have fun. So the whole like, we're girls. Of course we do. That's what we're gonna do. But specifically to make fun of ourselves and girls. Because
Yeah.
we just talked about how amazing women in Australia are, so we need to kind of roast women too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
love it.
We're girls. Of course, I'm going to expect every single person in the entire world to compliment me the day after I get my hair done.
Ooh, true. Or any changes to your body at all.
Yeah. Like
I'm the
yesterday-
opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like when people comment. I feel like embarrassed.
Me too.
Here, I used to feel that way. I think I'm at the point though where I'm like, if I'm gonna spend $400, $500, I want to be complimented. Like, I want you to tell me that it looks good because you're right and I paid for it.
Absolutely.
That made
And
me
I'm-
have a mindset shift on it.
Or
So
like,
anyways.
yes, I'm just thinking anything you do, like if you dye your eyebrows or like get your eyebrows laminated or
Get
your
my nails
lashes,
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
lashes lifted, nails done, anything. You're like, who's gonna notice? that
Well,
just-
Yeah.
no, I want every single person to notice, like even strangers.
Yeah, I'm also opposite where I don't want it all. Like, I remember when I was starting a new job and I was needing to get a haircut, and I got the job really quickly, and I was like, okay, I gotta get my hair cut right now before I start so that no one knows me with the
Notices.
long hair and no
Yeah.
one. And Jacob thought I was such a freak, but I was like, no, this is just what needs to
Well,
happen.
I get that though, because that's a big change too, you know? So,
Yeah.
alrighty,
Okay.
Abby.
We're girls. We're gonna try on 10 different outfits before going back and choosing the first outfit we tried on before going out
Honestly,
every day.
not necessarily for going out, but my flaw with that is if I get in that moment where I'm like, I hate every single thing I've put on my body, I will just end up in a crew neck and leggings
Yes. That
because I
too.
give up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine is we're girls. Of course, we're going to complain about men, but continue to date and marry them.
Yeah.
True.
And secretly love and adore them.
Yes.
For whatever reason, crave their attention and love.
Literally.
Exactly.
The biggest irony, honestly, is just
Yeah.
like roasting men and then really just deep downing wanting their full attention.
Still needing all their attention, all their validation, compliments, love, anything like that. Affection. Yep.
I mean, I do want everybody's validation and adoration.
Like, I don't know if that's a men's specific thing. It's just girls give it so easily and boys are like selective.
You kind of feel like you earn it a little.
Exactly.
That's so
Like a little
toxic.
ego boost.
Mine is also, it's where girls, of course, we're gonna hate on men, but still seek their validation.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, I
I'll
love
be
that.
seeking it.
I'd be seeking it. Have you guys ever like what's the most like kind of crazy thing you've done to get like validation? I don't know if I'm phrasing that. Like if you can remember, like I just remember, especially in high school, like I mean this is like a commonly talked about thing, but be like complaining about something to like seek a compliment basically. Like I feel like that's very common.
I have to
Being
go
like-
deep into the archives of
Yeah.
my brain to
Sorry,
discover these.
I'm just
Not necessarily validation, but like attention. My go-to was always like in high school to pretend that I had like butt dialed them or like texted them.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Or like Snapchat. I would always
You
use
like accidentally
Snapchat.
send the perfect selfie.
No,
Yes, and then
literally.
be like, "Oops, didn't mean to," or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that just unlocked such a
Wrong
memory.
person.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'd always take like the cutest picture and have like a random like mid conversation caption.
Yeah.
And be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I meant to send that to my sister."
Yes.
Yes.
Or
I miss
honestly, the wildest thing ever is just grind trains back in junior high and high school.
I'm
at
sorry,
dances.
what?
Grind
I would-
trains? You
No,
know what I'm talking
Never
about?
participated.
No.
I
I'm
know
sorry.
what
I
you're
was a woman
talking
of
about.
God in middle school.
Yeah.
School dances ends up just being a bunch of in junior high, it was like all of the girls would just stand in a really long line and like
Yes.
grind on, like be in a grind train during
Yes.
dances because we're all putting on a show for some guys to love us.
I love
And
that so
the fact that I
much.
look back in high school and think about how like I would go to these dances and just like find a random guy and then like grind on them, and I'm like, why did I do that? That's so disgusting that I
No,
did
the
that
middle school grinding is so
just
crazy
to get
'cause,
someone to
like,
love me.
We
were
would have-
12.
Ew.
12,
it's
13,
so
14-year-olds.
I'm like, I can't believe the teachers had to see that and like break us up.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say the teachers would break
No.
people up, not us. I was not a part of it.
The teachers at my school did not care unless it was getting a little too crazy. But like they didn't care. They were just standing there watching it. So the fact
Ew.
that that was a thing, like that is a thing out there. And then the fact that we were like so confident about it and that like we were all so desperate for validation. We wanted the guys to come up to us at the end and be like, that was hot. Like, oh my gosh, I'm disgusted
Ew.
with myself. Yep.
I love that.
Anyways.
I just had one come to mind, but it left.
Okay.
I don't know if this like validate. I talked about it a little before, but just like once I liked a guy, all I had to do was like go on his Facebook, look at all of his likes, look at all of his music stuff, and then I would just like sing a song
I love that.
near them, and they'd be like, oh,
You're a
"You like
mastermind.
You like Travis
Eminem?"
Scott?
Literally, and like then they would just fall in love with you, and it was so easy, and that's how I got their
hilarious.
validation.
I realized I do kind of a similar thing to that now. One I had written down is, of course, we're going to stalk all of your social media before meeting you in real life to plan for different conversation starters.
Honestly,
That's
honestly.
genius.
And it's like the same kind of vibe, but like, especially if I'm meeting like a new girl that I've like only met on social media or something,
Yeah.
I will definitely like stalk to find any commonalities that we have to then be able to casually bring that up in conversation.
Yeah.
And that's on girls with anxiety.
Yes. That's on pre-planning and rehearsing every single conversation I have before I have it, only for it
Yes.
to not go the way I directed.
No. Okay. We're girls. We're gonna watch Vampire Diaries again and say it's because we like the plot, but really it's because we like the boys.
And because we are anxious.
And because we have ADHD and high functioning anxiety.
Speaking of, I just got to season 7 of Vampire Diaries, and it's really downhill from here, but I'll stick
yeah.
through it.
The only redeeming quality about any of the later seasons is Stefan and Caroline.
Yeah,
I'm
and
a Stefan and Caroline
Damon.
fan.
I just love Damon.
I mean, yes, Damon
Ani-
always.
Honestly, I really like Bonnie and Enzo too.
Bonnie and Enzo, though, are end game.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
them.
them.
Hard hands.
Yes.
Kenzie.
We're girls. Of course we're going to have a Zoloft prescription by the age of 25.
True.
I had mine by 18.
Oh, nice.
That is overachieving at its finest.
What can I say? Just got on, but got on and off by 25. Not that
Oh.
I should be off of it, just that I am.
Honestly,
We
I need
love
to
being depressed.
ask my doctor to up my Wellbutrin.
I'm so sorry.
That is sad.
That was what that was.
This is one of those moments of like,
It was more that was just like thinking out loud, like, oh, I should probably
I need
do
to put this in the to-do list for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to put that on you guys.
I upped my Zoloft dosage, and I'm so exhausted because Zoloft makes you tired, and my Adderall is not hitting like the usual cocaine it is because I'm so tired from Zoloft.
Oh. Yeah, that feels like a rough combination.
Yeah. That's how you start getting into drugs, I feel like, that's what I've heard people like to do, is they do like an upper and a downer
Yeah.
together.
Oh.
So it's
She's like, that's
to
what
feel
people
normal.
say.
that's what people
I don't
say.
know.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what was in the Demi Lovato documentary.
Oh. She's like, I've just heard this from people. I don't know
People,
who.
druggies
Demi?
that I'm like friends with.
I know at first I was like, who are you talking to about this?
The TikTokers.
Many.
I love phrasing things as like, oh yeah, I read this, but it's
I know.
just TikTok.
Right.
I'm a girl. Of course, I am not gonna put any gas in my car, and I'm letting it sit on maintenance required.
True.
I will say my tire pressure light has been on a little too long.
I mean, what
That's
do all
just
those
not
lights
my
mean?
job.
I will say that as someone with anxiety, if my tire pressure light is on, I'm like, Derek, I have to take your car to work. This car it's null. We can't use it anymore. Like, we're done with it.
I guess
Yeah.
the tire pressure one doesn't stress me out as much because it's typically just when it gets colder. And so I know it's just because of the pressure, which like it really just affects like the longevity of the tires and gas mileage, I've been told. So I should get it looked at or just, fill up the tires. But
The tire pressure one is the scariest one for me for some reason. Like, same as Kenzie, like, if I have it, I'm like not driving.
Yeah.
And I'm like
Interesting.
making Jacob fix it or my dad come and fix it because I also like I'm a girl. I'm not gonna do that.
Maintenance required
And
is far scarier to me.
I don't think I've
yeah,
ever had a tire pressure light on before.
well,
I I believe that the check engine lights, the maintenance required, all those lights are just a capitalist scheme to get us to keep spending our money at all these car maintenance shops so that they can just continue to destroy your car.
interesting.
I love that you
interesting.
have that opinion. Stresses me out a little bit.
No, I'm not serious about that, but in some ways I think about it sometimes.
In light of that one, we're girls. Of course, I'm going to run over every single curb and have my husband complain about it.
That is the kicker at the very end.
Here's the
Yes.
thing. In
Can't
Scott's
hit a curb
defense-
without being like, you're such a terrible driver.
Okay, he doesn't do that, but
Oh, okay.
I
Maybe just my
hit
experience.
a lot of curbs. I'm a pretty good driver. I hit a lot of curbs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the point where Scott will more just kindly warn me and be like, just remember there's a curb right there. And a lot of times I'm already on top of it. It's a
I
little
don't
rough.
really hit curbs.
That's a good look.
It's just my burden in life. Hitting curbs.
But people do be just like, I give people rides and they're always like, oh, watch out, blah, 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 because they think I'm going fast or like they think I'm going to hit a car and I'm like, I'm not going to hit it. And I'm like, you guys are kind of babies.
Calm
I just be
down. I'm
driving.
just an aggressive driver.
Literally.
It's just the way it is.
Literally.
My
Okay. Oh, go.
one more just little short one, because that one kind of just tied in, is we're girls. Of course I'm going to stare at myself in every single reflective surface.
Oh, that could not be more true. You just got to make sure everything's in place, you know? And
No,
all
I
your
just love the way I
hairs.
look.
Yeah, that too. I'm just obsessed with myself.
I'm just quite
See,
literally
I'm like-
obsessed with myself.
I'm a girl. It was ingrained in me to not be vain. And I'm scared for people to see me looking at any surface.
I do always think, I hope no one is looking at me look at myself. But
Yeah.
I feel like it was ingrained in me to be a little vain.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh
and
my
to
gosh.
be obsessed with how I look.
One of my friends posted this TikTok like a long time ago. I have never related to something more, and it was so funny at the time. It was like you're just having a casual conversation at a party and spot yourself in the mirror across the room, and it was her just like keep looking back, like she's basically talking to herself
Yes.
in the mirror while she's having a conversation with someone right next to her. It's like, yeah, if I'm talking to somebody and I see my reflection, I will not be able to give them eye contact.
Yeah. This whole time I stare at myself. I'm barely looking at all of you.
Yeah, that's what I like about Zoom.
Honestly.
Like, and I think it's a very common experience.
Totally.
And for the podcast specifically, I like make a conscious effort to look at you guys because I don't want, like, if someone on TikTok like sees our videos and they're like, oh, that girl, she's clearly just looking at herself the entire time. Like, so
That's funny.
I fight the urge specifically on the podcast.
When
But any other, I'm like, if you ever FaceTime me, I'm just staring at myself. My family gets annoyed with me.
Yes.
Oh, really? I don't know that I have ever been called out for it.
Well, because I'm just like when I'm FaceTiming someone, I'll be like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
We just all love ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
hate us for it, whatever.
Self-love.
get over it.
Abby, what was your next
Okay.
one?
We're girls. We are gonna read romance novels about dating hockey players, even though we are in secure and long, stable relationships.
I need to read another hockey player book.
You're understanding
Read.
how Lauren read 24
Yeah,
hockey
I
books
was-
in 2 months.
Absolutely. Read Consider Me. That one genuinely was so good to me. Like, so good to me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. So good.
it did me.
in my-
her really well.
Wait, so are you guys being literal? Like it's just about literal hockey players? Like this isn't
Yeah.
some Euphemism. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's like they're hockey players in the
Like,
book.
that's
I
the
love a
scene.
good sports romance.
We're simple girls.
She's like, do you
But-
really love hockey?
I just couldn't tell.
I do agree though with her statement that she made in at Galentine's that the second book is better, but you have to read the first book to be introduced to the series. So read that whole series.
What is it called?
The first one is Consider Me,
Consider me.
and the second one is called Play With Me.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Never
that's
mind.
gross.
No, but it's the best. It is genuinely the best. And the third one is called Unravel Me.
No.
Okay.
Stop. Those
It
are books I
sounds
would need to
bad.
get on my Kindle so that no one sees the name on it.
No, it sounds bad, but they're sweet. They're actually really, really good.
Okay, but you're telling me I'm going to be sitting at the mall in public holding up my book that says play with me?
Why are you reading at the mall?
Because I'm
her
reading on
break.
my breaks at work.
I know, but yeah, sure. That makes sense. Get them on Kindle then. That's fine. Doesn't have to be
Well.
about hockey. You can fill in the blank anyway. Either way, we're reading romance novels.
I love that. I love a romance novel. It's so fun. I saw this TikTok recently that was like books that I read recently that my husband loved. And it was all
Yes.
just like the spiciest books. Or it was like
Yes.
books that my husband loved but has never read. That's what it
Yes,
was.
I saw that too.
That's
I
funny.
was like, yep,
Yes,
that's accurate.
so funny.
Anyways, Kenzie?
I don't have another one.
That's okay.
Yeah, I ain't got any more.
Oh, I got so many more, but we don't have to go into all of them.
I'll keep going.
Okay. We're girls. Of course, we're gonna ask you to feel our legs right after we shave.
Yes.
I love the feeling of going under a blanket.
Oh,
After I
yes.
just shaved my
my
legs.
favorite thing is a full body shave right before bed. And especially if it lines up with a clean sheet day. There is nothing,
Nothing
better.
better.
I will say, as I've gotten older, I definitely shave my legs way less.
Yeah,
never.
Like,
I will
never
agree
do.
with that as well.
Like there has to be a reason that I
Which
am
is
shaving my
why
legs.
when I do shave, it is like I shaved, feel this, it feels so smooth, and then I can't stop touching it. Like it is more of a thing because it's rare that it happens.
I will say the irony in it though is I feel like now that I don't shave as often, I definitely don't have as much hair too. Maybe it's just me or I'm just not remembering. But I feel like before I would shave my legs, like when I'd shave my legs like every day or every other day, it was a freaking forest down there. And now it's like a
Yeah,
couple trees.
yeah.
I have something pick me to say,
Yes.
and it's that I don't really shave a lot because my legs feel the same before and after shaving. Like my hair has never been prickly or anything, and my skin, like it just. So I also, because I don't like wear glasses in the shower or anything, like sometimes my leg hair gets long, but it's because I just can't tell.
You just can't
and I
see
can't
it.
see it and I can't feel anything. But like my legs are never prickly ever. Like I've never experienced that. And my hair just comes out very smooth and fine.
Interesting.
I love
Wow.
that for you.
Thank you.
Jenny's just a girl. Of course she has perfect legs that are completely smooth all the
Yeah.
time.
True. True.
Exactly.
We're girls, of course, my head or stomach will be hurting at all hours of the day.
Oh yes.
Can't
I
ever
also put
be
that.
not one. It will be
Yes,
happening.
one or the other. Have
Yeah,
your pick.
or
Either
both.
have a headache or stomach problems.
Yeah. Have you guys seen? It was a while ago that I saw this, but it was this guy who like went up to his wife and was holding like a bottle of wine, Advil, and something else, and was like, "Here you go." And she's like, "What's this for?" And he's like, "Oh, well, do you have a headache?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Did you want like a drink to relax or something?" And then he's like, "Okay, so we can have sex tonight then." Basically saying like these are all the common excuses for like
The reason
I'm not in the mood.
That's
It's pretty funny, honestly.
That's so funny.
That makes me feel icky.
Yeah, that's true.
Consent.
I don't know. If I have stomach problems, I can't do anything. I'm
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I can't handle like nausea. No, can't do it.
I can't smell anything. Like
Yeah.
any
Like, you're
good,
so
too
sensitive
good
to
or too
smells.
bad. Yeah. It makes me ill. Like if I'm nauseous, I should say, not just all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah. I have more, but not really ones that we haven't talked about. So I can
I'll just
end
do
there. Yeah.
one more that I think some of you guys can relate to. And that is we're girl.
We're
Of course,
girl.
our body. No,
We're
sorry.
girl.
We're girl. We're girls. We're girls. Of course, our bodies are always going to be sensitive to temperatures,
Yes.
cold or hot.
That
My
is
toes are
facts.
freezing right now.
I'm
I feel
always
very
under a blanket.
warm right now. I feel like sweaty.
You never just feel happy. You either feel hot or cold, but you never just feel
You're
content.
never happy though.
I'm always
We're girls.
miserable.
Physically,
We're
you're
just
never
never happy.
Honestly,
Yeah, true.
it's just true.
That's
I love that.
literal facts.
I love it.
I just feel like I can never
Yay.
get warm enough unless it's the summer.
Ugh, I can't wait
Yeah,
for summer.
I just
I love
want, it's
summer.
like a warmth in my bones. It's not even just like, oh, I'm warm. It's like I can feel the tensing of my muscles and my bones because I'm cold. And when it's the summer and it's 120 degrees outside, I can sit outside and just thaw and
Yeah.
everything just
I
like
just want to put my
melts.
body in an oven.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's
That's
great.
That would be so amazing.
It's just the truth. Well, this was fun. We love women.
Thanks, everybody.
And we love making fun of women because we are.
If you are new here and you ended up making it to the end, just for your information, there's a new episode every Monday, and you can watch it on YouTube or podcast app or Spotify or wherever you want to listen to. And what else? Oh, you can follow us on Instagram at the Beezies Podcast,
Also on TikTok at the Beezies Podcast.
and also on TikTok at the Beezies Podcast.
Don't leave us
That's
hate
facts.
comments. I will block you
Yeah.
and delete your
Our
comment.
TikToks have been ending up on the wrong side of TikTok.
Honestly, I've noticed that.
It's
So if you are a
hurting me.
girl who
Please go
loves
leave us
girls
nice
as well,
comments.
please
Yeah.
give us a follow and help us with our TikTok algorithm to put us on the
Yeah.
right side of TikTok. Because
Because
These
these men
men-
are coming for us.
for real,
And it's
Yeah.
scary out there.
Men.
absolutely,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I used to like engage with them and be sassy, but now I'm like, you know what? No, it's not worth it.
Delete.
Because the second you come at them with like a sassy comeback, they're like, "Oh, you're just fat." Like
Yeah.
they go right for like the way you look. Like that's like
Literally.
the only good comeback they can come up with.
Yeah,
No
so
thought.
original. Good job.
Yeah.
Everyone on that couch
Boring.
is big boned.
I know. What
love
was
that.
that?
That's
It's
hilarious.
so funny.
What was that?
Yeah. Anyways,
Ugh.
follow us.
And then if you liked
Peace
it,
out.
also give us a rate and review.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that last part. Sorry.
And watch on YouTube at Beezy's Podcast. Love you all.
Okay,
Yes.
bye.
Bye.